Hello Trackster user. Hopefully you watched our last video and you created your account, you got all set up, and now you're ready to see our core feature, the stopwatch. Now I'm super excited to show it to you. We created the stopwatch as our kind of initial feature just so that coaches could time workouts and have it all saved. We found that there's really no good way of saving a workout, that a lot of time you put it on a piece of paper, it goes in some file cabinet, or maybe goes in an Excel document, but athletes can't view it. So we really think this feature is really important as it helps coaches save time. It also enables them to collect data they might not be currently collecting. So without further ado, let me jump into the stopwatch. So click on this center button, the bottom toolbar, image of the stopwatch, and it will take us right into the stopwatch. Now as a quick little walkthrough, says record splits using the volume buttons, and yes, it's true. I'll walk into that. It's pretty cool that just by clicking volume up, volume down, you can actually start, stop, and get splits. You can also handle multiple timing sessions at once. I'll get into that as well. That I think is pretty cool. You can just kind of go back and forth on the bottom bar, viewing different workouts, viewing different groups, and hopefully instead of using your 3-4 current stopwatches, you can only use our app instead. Lastly, you can also take pictures while using the stopwatch. I'll try and get to that near the end. I don't want this video to be too long, but it is a cool feature. We can actually take a picture of someone and still see the clock running and still get splits. So without further ado, let's jump into the actual stopwatch by clicking Got It. So like I said in the last video, there'll be these walkthroughs the first time you go through the app. They won't happen again. But if you want, we'll quickly read through this one because it is pretty helpful stuff with this walkthrough. So it says volume down to stop the timer. So I'll make sure to talk about that a couple more times, but the volume down button right on the side of your iPhone, that's what's going to start and stop the intervals. The next one is volume up to split. So I'll walk through how this works, but volume up will give you a bunch of times. So if your guys are coming in at different times, your first guy, you can click the volume up, next guy volume up, so you can get different splits and for different people as they run by. Now, tap the plus button to assign athletes. So I'll kind of show you. You can't really see the plus button right now, but as times come in, you'll be actually assign them to people. So the same way you write down a piece of paper, the name and the time, you'll now actually be able to assign them right in the app. Click OK, and the last thing is to finish, edit, or quit. I'm going to click on the little down arrow right here. So that's pretty important. Let's make sure that once a workout's done, you don't want to just quit the app. You want to make sure to submit it. That way you can view it whenever you want to, your athletes can view it whenever they want to, really create this new training experience. So now we're in the actual stopwatch, and as I said in the tutorials and as you can see in the middle of the screen right now, we have volume down to start. So why don't we start by doing that? Click volume down and the stopwatch begins. So with volume down, you see the time is now going. It'll go for, of course, as long as you want. So now that I did volume down and the time's going, I want to show you how to get splits. So to get splits, you're going to tap on the volume up button. So I repeat, the volume up button gives you splits. So I'm going to tap on the volume up button right now, and I just got one split. I'm going to tap on the volume up button again and get another split. I'm going to tap on it one more time, and I'm going to get my third split for this rep. So just to repeat here, so we did volume down to start this, and now we're using volume up to get all of these actual times, get all of these splits. Now, once you're done, once the last guy crosses the line, you can actually stop the timer. So to stop it, you're going to click on the bottom volume button. So I'm going to click bottom volume button, and the time is going to stop. So you might want to pause the video and kind of practice yourself. But right, we have bottom volume button is for start and stop, and we have top volume button for getting a bunch of intervals. Now we just completed rep 1, and now I want to jump into rep 2. The way we jump into rep 2 is just by clicking the bottom volume button again. So I'm going to click on the bottom volume button, and now I'm off into rep 2. So let me repeat. Click the bottom volume button, and now we're in the rep. Once again, we're going to get some splits during this interval. So I'm going to click on the top volume button, and I'm going to get some splits. So my first split was 13 seconds. My next split will be about 20 seconds. My last split I'll get again. So our top volume button is clicking this. And I want to kind of show you some cool features while we're in this right now. That we can see up top we have the big time, right? It's showing you the current time they're at in the entire interval. As you can see in the right side below this time, you can see the lap time. So lap time is, since the last time you got a split, that's how long it's taking. And once you actually get that next split, so I'll get another split here, you can see that time is then just transferred to the right of the overall time. So you can see that at 52 seconds we got a split, and it took 25.6 seconds between getting splits. So that can be your lap time might be 25.6, and then your actual current time would be 52. So now the last guy is going by here. So I'm going to click on the bottom volume button, and that's going to stop the interval. And as you can see to the left below the overall time, you can see that rest time is going. So if you're doing a mile repeats, you can give the guys a couple minutes, and you can see with this clock how long they've been resting. And once again, the rest time starts once the final guy goes by. So just kind of keep in mind that if the group's getting spread apart, your top guy's rest time is not the same as your last guy's rest time. So we're calculating rest time based off of the last guy going by. Now I'm going to do one more interval, one more rep here to keep showing you. And kind of before I hop in the next rep though, I want to show you that I can actually edit the distance of these reps. So if I just click on rep here, if I click on rep 1, you can see this kind of bottom scroll comes up, and maybe we're doing 400s. So I'm going to scroll to 400 and click done. I'll do the same thing for rep 2. I'm going to click on the wording rep 2. I'm going to choose 400, and there you go. So now you can actually have the distances right there. So I can change as the workout goes. Now, one of the most important features is the ability to assign people to reps. So say, we have a long rest right now, you have some time as a coach, you want to actually assign these times to the kids who ran them. So I'm going to go to the first interval, and I'll assign from here. So I'll click on the bottom one, so they all finished at 108. So I'll click on the plus button, and see all these faces pop up. And this is my We Run BC club team, and as you saw in the last video, I joined it, so that's why they all pop up here. As you get more of your athletes on the app, they'll also pop up the same way, but they need to create accounts for them to be viewable here. But we'll assume that you got a couple of them. I'm going to click on some of my friends here. Click on Tom Blanchard. Click on Tina Loritz. So these are all people who ran this time that we just got. And we do the same thing for this next interval. We'll say, once again, Tom and Tina were the two that ran this time. So to reiterate, click on the plus button, and that's what lets you assign the times. Once you're done, you click on the green check mark, and it goes back into this view. Now, it's been a little while, so these guys are more than recovered. I'm going to start the next rep. So once again, bottom volume button, and they're off. Now, while these guys are going, you're trying to handle multiple workouts, trying to do a couple different things at the same time here, right? Now, if you're a coach, you're probably pretty busy here, timing all these groups. So to make it easy for you, we can actually have multiple stopwatches going on at the same time. So I'm going to click on Add Stopwatch here at the bottom. And now I have another stopwatch ready to go. And this, of course, works the exact same way. I'm going to click on the bottom volume button, and these guys are going to start running. So now they're going. I'm going to go back to my first session to see how they're doing. So these guys are still running. And now to actually get the time or to get a split, I can click on the top volume button, and I get a split. I can now go back to session 2 and say these guys are going by. I'm going to click on, once again, the top volume button and get another split. So as you can see, this is pretty flexible. You can easily bounce back and forth. You have the same functionality for all of them. You can create 4 or 5 workouts all at the same time and handle them all. And we're working on ways to make this even easier to go back and forth. But for now, right, you just click on session 1 or session 2, and that takes you to that workout that's going on. Now, there are a couple of cool things we can do from here as well. I talked about using the camera feature, and I don't want to go too far into it. So if you want to play with it on your own time, you can click on the camera option in the upper left, and that will let you kind of take a picture during the workout and still be able to view the time. But like I said, that's kind of a separate function that you can kind of go on and play with yourself a little bit later. So I'm going to get this session 1. They went by again. I'm going to click get another split, and now my last guy goes by. I'm going to click on the bottom volume button, and they're going to be done. So now since they're done, I'm going to click on rep 3. We'll say that was a little longer. That was a 600. So they've done a 400, 400, and a 600. They're currently resting, and while they're resting, I'm still timing this other group. Some of the things I want to point out is this whole time we've been talking about the volume buttons, right? And that's the easiest way to run it. You have your bottom volume button for start and stop, your top volume button for splits. Now we also built in other ways to kind of keep it simple as well. If you don't like using the volume buttons, you can also tap the screen. If you tap in the middle of the big time, so if you tap on, you see 13, 14, 15, if you tap right there in the middle, that also stops it. And if you tap in the white space below, so you see 26.15, if you tap anywhere below twice, so tap in twice in a row really quickly, that will give you a split. So you can tap twice in a row. So think of tapping twice in a row and top volume button as the exact same thing, because they are. Right? It just depends on preference if you prefer the double tap or if you prefer volume up. Either way, it works really well. And like I said, if I tap in the middle of the big time, as I will right now, that is the same as your bottom volume button that works as start and stop. So now you have a couple ways to run it. I'm going to go back to session 1 here. I'm going to assign this time to people. So this 203, I'm going to say that once again, Tom and Tina ran that 203. So now they're all good to go. Yeah, let me quickly assign them. So now, of course, I actually moved them up to 155. That they're a little faster than I said initially. So just to review, we have these 3 intervals. We have 400, 400, 600. We've assigned Tom and Tina to one interval of all of them. And now I'm actually going to say the workout's over, which is a quick pre-race. Now we're going to submit. So I'm going to click on the bottom arrow here, and I'm going to click on finish. And it'll just it'll give me an option to name it. I'm going to say demo 1. I'm going to click save. And now it just takes a minute, and it just uploaded. And now it takes me to the other workout. This workout is now called session 1, so make sure not to get them confused that session 1 is just the first one in the list. And since we uploaded the past session 1, this is now session 1. I'm going to say this one, maybe the workout didn't go so well, or not even that. We were kind of timing for fun here. I'm going to show you also how you can quit. So the last one we uploaded by clicking finish. This one, if you click on the X in the upper right, that quits it. Like I said, if it's a real workout, you should definitely click finish. But if you're just playing around and kind of get used to the stopwatch, you can click on the X here, and that will just quit it. It'll ask you, are you sure? Because it's not going to save this, but I'm sure. So I'm going to click quit. And now I'm back in my home feed. And I'm going to actually show you how you can view these workouts and how you can actually edit them and change the intervals and do all this cool stuff. So we just ran demo 1. You can see it's now at the top of my home feed. And it's both the top of my home feed and also it's on my team page. So I'll go to We Run BC you can see the very top of the home feed, once it loads, will be of workout demo 1. So you can view it from either way. I'm going to go back to the home feed. I'm going to click on demo 1. Now this is kind of a quick walkthrough showing you how you can view your results. I'm going to click OK. And now you can see that we had a 400, a 400, and a 600. And you can see that Tina and Tom are assigned to these times. So you can see that they ran a 108, they ran a 122, and then they ran a 155. So pretty easy to work here. If you want to edit stuff, you can. If you click on the little pencil right here, you can actually edit anything you want to. So you can add more reps. So say I want to add one more, I can, and I can change the time by just clicking on the time and editing it that way. And then I can also add more intervals. So if they did more than a 600, I can click add interval, and it gives me a whole new option for rep 4 here. And maybe my assistant coach timed it, I didn't. So instead they finished off with a 400. I'll click on the time and say they were really fast. They ran a 65 or 105. And then to assign it to the time, same thing, click on the plus button. I'll click Tina and Tom again. They're the ones running this workout. And voila, I'm all done editing the workout. Click on the top check to get back in this view. You can do cool things too, like you can comment on it. So you can say, well done, Tina and Tom, exclamation point. So now is actually a comment on this workout. I can also like it so I can see what people think of the workout. And lastly, another important thing, say maybe you're currently having all your workouts stored in an Excel file or Google spreadsheet. We don't want to change how you're doing that. So if you want, you can click on the top 3 dots in the upper right here, and you actually have an option to export as a CSV. So to export as a CSV, I'll click on that, and it'll just take me to my email. And you have jack@trackster.us, my email, and you can see attached is demo 1 here, and that will just send as a very simple CSV. So you can put it into your Excel files, you can put it into your Google spreadsheets, however you want to save it, you can. But we just want to show you the option of being able to send this workout. I'm gonna click send, and that now sent me my workout. So, and there's the email just received. So that's pretty much it for the stopwatch aspect. I know it's a lot, so if you're a coach, you're probably used to using a normal digital stopwatch. So this might take a couple minutes to kind of play through and really get used to it. But just remember, volume down, start stop, volume up, get splits. Just remember, that's the really core thing. As long as you don't goof up that, you'll be more than fine. So that's all. I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at jack@trackster.us. I hope you have a great day, and talk to you later.